Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to watch this video. Recently, I have come across many friends and clients who needed career advice, either to find a new job or to change their current job for various reasons. One thing common that I noticed in some of them was that they were going through their struggle with a very passive and negative approach. And while talking to them, it ultimately came down to one issue, which was their fear of being a victim of age discrimination, commonly known as ageism, which unfortunately still exists in employment and in the hiring process. Ageism is a social phenomenon that occurs when a person is discriminated against or held back because of their age. Many recent studies conducted in the USA and many other countries have found that ageism in hiring is a significant factor to consider when discussing employment trends. Very often, people who are uncomfortable about their age have a feeling that they are being left behind. But there are some steps that you can take to overcome this feeling and stay relevant in your job search. Since this is a subject that is also close to me personally, I decided to conduct some research on it and get a better understanding about the various forms of ageism, how ageism is impacting hiring decisions in the workplace, and if there are any ways for middle-aged people to get around it. I put my thoughts together in a short video to make it more interesting for you. What I would like to request from you is to share your experiences in the comments of this video, and also give us your thoughts about any solutions that might help others. Subscribe to my channel for more insights into career guidance and job interview preparation. My channel is all about you, so let's take a look at the short video. Thank you.
Understanding ageism in today's professional world. Ageism is a trend that's been growing in the workforce for quite some time. It is a form of discrimination or prejudice against individuals or groups of people on the basis of their age, and it is especially prevalent among employers who feel that an older worker will be less productive than a younger employee. Some of the most common types of ageism are age discrimination, which is when an employer refuses to hire someone because of their age. Age segregation, which is when an employer decides to only hire people within a certain age group. Age grading, which is when an employer hires people based on how old they are and what kind of work they do. Age profiling, which is when an employer decides not to hire someone after seeing their date of birth on their resume or job application. It's important that we understand that this type of bias can also have a negative effect on an organization or a company. Technically, ageism could also be termed as a form of experience discrimination. What do I mean by that? Let me give you a little background of what I mean with some facts and figures. Right now, there's about 77 million baby boomers out there. These are people in their 50s and 60s and beyond, and all of them have decided to stay in the workforce a lot longer than the generations before them. The problem is that in this time, over the last 10 years, there are around 70 million millennials that are now entering the workforce. They make up over half the workforce today, and many of them are now in their late 20s and early 30s. That means that they have enough years of experience to be relevant to the marketplace, and given the fact that they cost a lot less and are more technologically savvy, we're witnessing more and more employers hire them over older, more seasoned, and more experienced workers. In conclusion, This is a case of the law of supply and demand, if you think about it in the world of business. You need to understand that this isn't just a situation that's only affecting baby boomers. With time, the millennials of today are going to get impacted by this as well. Do you consider yourself as a victim? This section will explore some ways that you can use to overcome ageism in your professional career or your job search, and how you can use your experience and expertise to your advantage. One way to mentally cope with the ageism situation today, if you are above 45 to 50 years old, is not to consider yourself as a worker or an employee. Rather, think of yourself as a business and a brand. Start focusing on marketing and selling brand you. Instead of telling companies and businesses what skills and experience you possess as an employee, tell them about what values you will add to their business as a partner or a team member. Highlight to them the return on investment aspect. The second step that you must follow is to have a smart career strategy. And I mean this also for people who may already have a job. Every job is temporary today, and we know that school has taught us everything except how to manage our careers. Work environment, career concepts, and jobs in general are fast changing. The whole employment and hiring markets have been evolving dynamically, and in many cases, the pandemic only hastened to bring about the changes. We can no longer think of 5 to 10-year long-term career plans. Your career strategy needs to be agile, succinct, and focused, so at any given time you should know exactly what you're trying to achieve in your career, and specifically what skills you're trying to grow and leverage that are relative to the marketplace. Let me explain some of this in practical terms. Most seasoned workers who reach their late 40s and get into their 50s tend to consider that having reached a certain level in their careers, their skills and know-how are good enough to take them through to their retirement age. This assumption cannot be further away from the realities of today's professional environment. The critical need here is to keep upskilling yourself. My final advice to you is to focus on increasing your networking and online engagement with people and companies relevant to your field of work. Currently, it's a lot about who you know when you need to be hired. Hundreds of recent studies indicate very clearly that the best way to find your next job is through networking, which is also closely linked to the personal branding that we discussed earlier.
I hope you could take away some useful tips from this video. Please share it with your friends and your contacts. Thank you again and goodbye.